My name is Matty Tottenham. I'm the host of the W Number podcast based out of Massachusetts. I'm on Chatting with Stacks, bro.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today I got Matty from the W Number podcast. Or do you ask them?
Yeah, so my fault. Yeah, so I go in there and the first night, dude, this kid tried to like strong arm me for my sneakers. I got into a fight with him over that. When they seen that happen, and the dude was not white, so they came over. It was, a couple black dudes, one Spanish dude, and a couple white dudes. They're like, what happened? Like even the kid said, like, nah, he did what he had to do. You know what I mean? Because it is what it is, bro. I'm not gonna let you take my jail-bought sneakers. I bought them in Canteen, bro. Like, if you're that much of a bum, dude, we could fight over them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So they did ask me, you know what I mean? So they were, but not before I asked them. So I think if you go in and you don't ask, you'll be approached. But because I was young, I seen how they were moving. So they were all sit at the same table. They were all eating together. You know what I mean? They looked out for each other, had each other's backs. And I kind of liked that shit. I was just drawn to it. I thought, oh shit, look at these guys, man. They look put together. I was young, impressionable. And I thought I saw something really cool. You know what I mean?
Is it a mixed race gang? And what's the initiation? Do you got to fight a couple of them? Like what?
So it's all white. It's the Hooligans is all white gang. I won't get into exactly what it stands for, like the numbers and all that, just because whatever. But it's an all white gang, and it's not like a racist gang though. Like it doesn't have racial propaganda, but it definitely, white dudes in the joint, they have racial leanings. You know what I mean? We are forced to stick together on a whole different type of way that you don't see out here in the regular population. But in there, you know what I mean? We're standing together. You know what I mean?
They don't take all the white guys, right? They won't take all of them.
No, only really you got to be built for it. So what happens is when you get down, you're gonna have to put in work. You got to shed blood. So it's blood in, blood out. And you cannot get your numbers. So what you'll get put on probation first, and then after probation, you'll get your numbers when you shed blood for the team. You know what I mean? So you gotta put in some type of work. First, when it first started, the Hooligans, the only way to actually get your numbers and become an actual official member is you had to fight the cops. So you had to fight the cops, and they would send a dog at you, and you would have to fight the dog. And that was the real thing. Like it was about fighting the system and fighting anybody who's trying to oppress white people in that joint. And it kind of just morphed because they, like you said, they don't just put down anybody, but they started, you know what I mean? And it became very watered down. And by the time the war broke out, which is what happens next, I got stabbed. There was all these dudes checking in on me, leaving me for dead on the block. I had no help. You know what I mean?
Why were they checking in? What was the reason for that?
So one morning I was on AA. I had got caught with a knife and some pills. They did a cell search. They had me there, but my cellie was in school. So they asked me if it was mine. I said, yeah. So they asked him if it was his before he got back. He said, yeah. So only one of us said, yeah, we're only one of us on AA, but we didn't know the other one was going to take the rap for it.
Whose was it? Was it yours?
It was just not, it was a knife and some pills.
But it was it yours or was it his?
It was mine. It was mine.
So he cops to it too?
Yeah, because he's not going to snitch on me. If he says anything but, yeah, it's mine, it's obviously mine. You know what I mean? So it would be either dry snitching or taking the rap. And he did what he was supposed to.
So what happens next?
They come and they put us on AA for that night. They put us on AA. And when we were, all right, so that was the night before. Sorry, that was the night before. So we go to sleep that night. It's cool. The next day we wake up in the morning time. I wake up to hearing people screaming like, you mother, whoa. It's some crazy, something's happening. So I wake up, I look out the window and I see a line, like 6 of my people, 6 hooligans getting walked by the COs into the HSU, and there's people all out, like getting lugged, like people getting pulled this way, that way. There's a bunch of cops out there, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck just happened? You got guys yelling out the windows, if you're a hooligan, you better check in. You ain't living on this block, motherfucker. Like, just some crazy. So I knew who it was yelling. I said, yo, I'm a hooligan. What's up? You know what I mean? And the kid's like, yeah, you know what time it is. And I knew him from DYS. I said, I wouldn't want you to get on the phone and start crying to your mom, bro. I said, my bad, bro. I'm going to check in right now for you, all right? Like,
what was this all over? Or do you know what this was all about?
Yeah, so on the way back from school, one of my friends, one of the kids that was a hooligan, wanted to fight one of the vice lords over some words. The vice lord went to his superior and said, that white boy's got a knife. He's telling his boys he's going to stab me in the cell. So his superior says, take him out right here. We got you back. Boom. He moves on him out there, turns into a melee. It was like, I think it was 26 on 6, they said, right? 26 guys on 6 white dudes. All 6 of my guys went to the hospital. 2 cops went to the hospital. One of them had a broken arm. It was a big one. And they locked the whole camp down after that and basically let just the guys that were on AA showers out the night that all happened, right? So I was one of those guys that was on AA showers after this big brawl. There was a person that got moved from the box to population when this happened because there was no more bed space, and he was the shot caller for the dominant Spanish gang in that whole place. He was a king. Say he's a king, right? He was a shot caller for the Kings over there, and we were coming out for AA showers at the same time. Now the cops in the bubble had to know, you know what I mean? They knew what time it was, but they were white up there, those cops, and I think because they saw 2 of us in the cell, and one of them, he figured that we might get a win or something. I don't even know. I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe they just didn't think at all. Maybe they were thinking these dudes. I don't know.
But and he just came from the box, right?
Yeah, he just came from the box, but he was on AA, so he'd be on AA status because he was already doing his time in the hole, and they move him out. So it was like he was done with his, not really done with his whole time, but he could finish it out there on AA status, which means like awaiting actions. So you come out at nighttime for your shower every 2 days or something, and then after you're done with AA, only lasts for like 3 days. So you would have came out after like 3 days, just regular. You know what I mean? But this was it, man. He came out with me that night for AA showers, and when I came out of my cell, you had guys there. You could peg your door, slide your door open, and come out on the tier. So I came out on the tier. The cops in the bubble were nowhere to be seen. Like there's a bubble above, in between Worcester, I and J. You could see that side and you could see this side from the bubble. There's 2 blocks, that side and this side. That's J, this is I. And they call J block the jungle, I block Iraq. The straight gangland. It was wild. You had people getting lit on fire, stabbed, and all that, right? It was straight up mayhem over there. But anyway, so the kid comes, we got cracked out for showers that night. I came out onto the tier. There was microwaves in the middle of the block. So I came to the microwaves and I told the kid, El Yasel, he's dead now, Spanish dude, but he was the shot caller before old boy came there. I said, yo, your door's pegged. My door's open. So you can slide it open and come right now. They're yelling, get in the shower. What are you scared? Get in the shower. I was like, yeah, I'm terrified. I'm going to get in the shower with my flip-flops on so you could attack me there. I said, what are you scared? I said, come to my cell right now. It's open and fight me. You know what I mean? That's it. I'll fight you with my sneakers on. Thank you.
Because usually they will attack you in the shower. You're in the shower. Yep. You're like vulnerable, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And, some of the dudes there, they really, they're not caring you're a stand-up dude. They don't give a, they want to, they just don't give a. But no, if you're not in their gang, anything flies with you, bro. They take you out, kill you, whatever. It doesn't even matter. Like they don't give a about you. Yeah. So I'm not gonna make it easy for him, But yeah, I called him out, told him to come to my cell. But Will was already walking down. I never seen Will before. I never met the kid before. Now he's passed away too, which is why I'm even saying his name. But he's gone now. But he was walking down the tier. He's a big dude, bro, like a big Spanish dude. Bald head, but he had a towel over his arm in his shower. So it looked like he might even just be going to get in the shower. I never met the kid before. So I just gave him a little side glance and kept my eye on him but I wasn't focused on him. I was focused on this one that was yelling and this other one that was the, Vice Lord dude yelling. So I'm like, what's up? Like, and, they're all 5 points. So that beef just sparked it off, bro. Everybody who's a hooligan now has just got beef with all these 5-point gangs. And so I'm like, fuck this, man. Like, come see me, And so nothing happened right then and there. But I start walking back towards my cell, and that kid Will comes down the stairs, puts the towel on the table, and starts walking back towards me. And now I'm walking like this, and he's walking like this. There's a stairs right here, and I'm walking under the stairs like this. But he started speeding up, and I'm like, looking at him, and he had something in his hand. He shook his hand, and I could see it was a knife. And I said, "Oh, you want to pull a knife on me?" I said, "Come in my cell with that." And I went to slide past him, like, like slide past him into my door. My cellie was in there. I'm thinking he's gonna have my back. Now I don't know why at this point why my cellie didn't come out. I know he was scared. Like, we was in the cell and I had to talk him down earlier that day, So I'm thinking, like, I hope this kid has my back, bro. But it's what it is, bro. Came here alone. I'm gonna leave alone. This is it. You don't have choices when these things happen. You know what I mean? You just have to stand up and do what you have to do. And that's just what I did, bro. He came towards me. He pulled the knife out. I called him my cell. When he came in my cell, when I slid past him, when I went to go slide past him, he cut my ribs and then straight, like, came right at me. As soon as I came in the door, my knees hit the back of the bunk. So the cell, the bunk, the bottom bunk, my knees hit the back of it, and I kind of sat on it. And he pulled me forward by my shirt like that and got me. The best time he got me was in my back. Boom, right then and there. And he buried it, but it hit my rib. And when it hit my rib, it just bent and went sideways up into my back or something, but it bent.